all of you for joining us today in today's discussion. I'm Priyanjali Kapoor. I'm a design manager from Verena, and it is my honor and privilege to be here for this discussion today, celebrating Women's Day. So every year, the International Women's Day highlights a theme that they use for their campaign yearly. This year's theme and the discussion theme for today is accelerating action. And when we say accelerating action, it's accelerating action to gender equality, which I think all of us hold very close to our hearts, everyone in this room. This year's theme is a powerful call to action to drive meaningful change within organizations, to accelerate gender equality and to create more inclusive workspaces. As we step into this era, or rather, as we live in this era of rapid transformation, everly transforming, the role of women leaders is more and more critical in everything that we do, whether that's technology that we're working on, innovation, workspaces, and more importantly, the world that we're all creating together. So today we are absolutely privileged to be joined by this amazing panel of inspiring leaders from Telefónica and Tech Mahindra. And the goal for today is basically to learn from them about their unique leadership journeys, to learn a little bit about the challenges that you faced, and maybe get to know a little bit of the advice that you'd be happy to share with us in terms of mentorship and the things that you've been through. So please join me in warmly welcoming our panel. So to my right, we have Begum Semis, Director, Digital Channels and CX Excellence. We have Verena Grundke, Director, Customer Marketing. We have Asja, Klier, Head of Technology, Business Development and Operations. We have Aysenur Senyer, Director, Access and Transport Engineering, Design and Development. And from Tech Mahindra, we have Senior Vice President Vinay Prakash and Global Business Head for Telefónica. So before we jump into the questions, could we do just a quick introduction round from all of you, a very short introduction on your background and just quick highlights of your career. Begum, if you would start.
Sure. Begum, originally from Turkish, last 4 years here in Germany in Telefónica. I started my career as a level 1 operations engineer and had my journey through networks, IT, business analysis, program management, IoT, and then I ended up having digital channels here in Telefónica, delivering our transformation program as well. Verena?
After university, I joined BCG and I spent 8 very exciting and also very busy years as a strategy consultant. Already during that time, I did a lot of work in the telco sector, and then I joined Deutsche Telekom after the time at BCG. Spent 6 years there in wholesale, and now I've been with Telefónica for 7 years. I'm married with 2 kids, 12 and 9 years old.
I'm Asja. I started my career actually at Amazon as a vendor manager, and then I was parting my way to Telefónica through the consultancy. So my first leadership role was in the consultancy as a head of customer experience. And now I'm since 5 years at Telefónica. I'm working in the CTIO department.
Yeah, I'm also an engineer by design. I started in operations years back. I don't remember how many years now. I worked in vendors like Nortel and Cisco. Then I joined a telecom operator in a sales job for some years. So that was an interesting time where I stopped engineering. And then I came back to the operator landscape, worked 10 years in Vodafone and 4.5 years now in Telefónica. Yeah, I am married and have 1 kid, small, well, not in small, but a grown-up woman.
Hi everyone, my name is Vinay Prakash. I am, as a Senior Vice President, I am responsible for our business with Telefónica globally. I have been working with Telefónica and managing relationship already for a long time, but in Tech Mahindra it's been 17th year. Last week I completed 17 years in Tech Mahindra. I joined the company here in Germany. So it's been 17 years living in this particular country, beautiful country. I studied computer science and information technology. I'm an engineer. I started my career as a software engineer, worked for some startups, also some operators. Then I moved to UK, worked for some SIs as well as operator called Cable & Wireless. And then I moved to Germany with Tech Mahindra, and here I am. I am proud father of a daughter, and I have a beautiful wife. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's get started with the questions. The first one's for Begum. Could you share with us a pivotal moment in your career that's defined your path as a woman leader? And if there are any stories or lessons that you'd like to share?
Well, actually, it was one of my first job interviews as I graduated from university was the first shock that I had in my life. So I studied originally control and automation engineering, and back then it was hyped to do industrial automation. So I went to one of the big companies saying that I would like to become a field engineer to do automation. And they said, but you're a woman. And I was like, yes, so what? But you might have to stay in the plants overnight, and it's not that comfortable there. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I get what you mean. Because if there is some work to do, I will do whatever is needed for the work to do. If there is no work to do, of course, I will not sleep on the floor. And this taught me what not to do. So as one of the job interviews, one of the things that I learned was what not to do to never to anyone. One leadership lesson that we learned back in Turkey from an ex-CEO of ours, me and Aysenur, is something not just about women, but about diversity, that it got stuck with me and I remember it almost every day for the last 13, 14 years. We were in a board meeting during a transformation program, and as you can imagine, a lot of heat and a lot of discussions and debates going on. Two of our partners was debating why it's not their fault. And all of us were just listening to the conversation, saying this is right, this is wrong, 1-0, 2-1, match not over. Our CEO super calmly stood up. He took a whiteboard pen and he went and he started drawing something on the board. He first drew a tennis field, tennis court. He put two people playing the ball around the tennis court. And he turned to us and he said, I thought I have an amazing leadership team, but my leadership team is sitting down and watching this tennis game and just counting the scores. And then he said, now what I need is, independent of your height, independent of your experience, I need all of you to stand up and go to the basketball court, play as a team, and to make sure that you win the game. It was really one of the best analogies that I've heard in my life that really shaped my thought process to understand as well. You can get your hands dirty, you should get your hands dirty, and you should play as a team, independent of gender, height, experience.
Thank you. Talking of getting our hands dirty, you mentioned that you're a mom. This is a question about motherhood. I'm assuming there are other women in the room who are also working moms. So this one is about how do you manage work life and motherhood responsibilities?
Good question. I think first of all, when you become a mom and a working mom, the family takes care of the work-life balance, right? They make sure that you stop working at some point. So I guess one of the first things I learned was I need to do much more of time boxing, and I simply have to be ready in the evening at 6 or 6:30 in order to have some time for the family. And so I also became more disciplined and I mean, also as a leader, that means in the end that you have to empower your people more and you have to put more trust into your team, because in the end you simply cannot do it all by yourself. I think that's an important learning.
Thank you very much.
And then it can work. I mean, it's difficult, it's complicated every single day, but I don't want to miss neither my career nor my kids, and it's rewarding. Yeah.
I'm sure many of us in the room can relate to Verena. Asja, who has been your role model in all your diverse experiences? Who has been a key influence on you, and what experiences have contributed into shaping you to the woman leader that you are today?
So my role model I met when I was born. So my role model is clearly my grandfather, and he was an entrepreneur. And I'm actually the only woman in my generation of my family. So I'm only grown up with brothers and cousins. So there is no other woman in my family. And my grandfather never made a difference out of us. So he taught me things in life. He taught me how to do networking, and he was building his company really out of nothing. And what I think back when I'm thinking about my grandfather, so he was claiming his seat on the table, right? And he was building up everything, and he was a strong believer and was doing everything with confidence. And I think this really shaped my career. I was never thinking about, can I do this because I'm a woman? I said, I'm skilled, so I was saying, okay, I climb my seat and maybe it works, right? So I was always believing in my skills, and that also shaped my career. And to be honest, I was never reporting into a woman, so I never had a female leader myself, but I had amazing bosses that also didn't make a difference, and that was paving my way. So I would advise everyone to really believe in yourself, right? And then you can do anything you want.
Thank you very much. Talking about believing in ourselves, the question for Aysenur is, we all face challenges daily in our careers, particularly maybe some are more important than the others. Could you share some of the key challenges that you've encountered, and how it's sort of shaped you, and any strategies that you could share with the audience that they could learn from?
Yeah. And it's really about the belief, so we didn't plan it before. But yeah, what happened? I resigned my Cisco job to become a sales director in an incumbent local operator in Turkey. And my job, it was a residential telecom, and my job was a residential sales. And okay, in Cisco I had my European style life, right, with all the European people, etc. Very well company, American sales company, etc. So I gave everything, all my freedom. When I was leaving the company, they said, "Are you sure you're going to this local incumbent, blah, blah, blah?" I said, yeah, I wanted, because I was a pre-sales manager and I want to become a salesperson, and that was a good opportunity to jump in my career. I joined the company, and then they told me, look, it's a very similar thing. Maybe it's also a bit cultural. They said I was a residential sales director. My VP said, okay, this is a man job. And he had come from UK, and he said, look, I came here and I see that this is a man job. You cannot do this. You cannot go to telecom dealers. It is all men. And then I said, look, I left all my everything. No, I came here. What shall I do? And said, okay, there's this corporate job. Do you have a corporate product to sell? No, not yet. You can wait, no? So for me, it was like a jumping out of the bungee jumping, no, with nothing. So you change your career, you have nothing to sell, you have no people. So I worked in that company 2 years, and I started building it all up. So I put a strategy from zero. I said, look, this is my strategy. This is how I want to go to market, and then I want to build my team, etc. It took a lot of time. In the end, I was successful in my area, but due to other reasons in the company restructuring, we couldn't survive in that company. I left. In 2 years, I left. So for me, that was a shock. And it was the first time in my lifetime that I felt I am feeling, and that was a big learning. I realized then after that, in 2 years, I had learned a lot about myself because I learned how to survive. I learned how to trust in myself and to create something out of zero. Because before, all my career was adapting, getting this product, selling this product, explaining this. So it was all there. So I was contributing. But that time, I was making it out from zero. And in the end, it helped a lot in my career when I moved to the operator world, back to the technology. That was a huge learning about myself, my capabilities, and this loneliness. I think it's all about seeing that, okay, life, we are crowded. Together we get this power from each other. But it's so important to understand yourself, that you are alone in bad times, that you have a power in yourself that makes you get out of it. So that was for me, I think, a big learning.
Thank you very much. All right, Vinay, you are surrounded by very inspiring women here. We'd love to know what's your personal take on women leaders in shaping the future of technology. And if you could tell us a little bit about the initiatives that Tech Mahindra is taking to create more inclusive work environments.
So I would say, I'm right now surrounded by many people who are contributing in shaping the technology, like Asja, Begum, Verena, Asja. So women are playing very crucial role in shaping up the technology. I mean, they're inspiring the innovation. They are driving different perspective, empathy and resilience. And the kind of collaboration which we all can see, which is coming through having women in our team, in our workplace, is completely different, right? It is basically creating user-centric solutions, what they can do. So from my perspective, women have a significant role. There are a lot of women leaders who have done a lot of inventions and innovation which we are using till today. One of the great women leaders has invented these windscreen wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And one of the great women leader has actually created Ethernet technology as a household name today. So these are the inspirations, and many of the women are inspiring regularly. So that is my take. And as Tech Mahindra, we believe in more inclusive culture. We are committed fostering, the empowerment for women. We have programs like Rise for Women. We have programs like for leadership for in women employee. So we are actually promoting women at workplace. We are carving out the leadership and technical role where women employees can take on and they can lead the team. They can in our right program also, for example, there are so many women leaders who are actually helping in transforming the stacks. If you look at our very own network operations center in Romania for Telefónica, 45% employees are women. So we are committed towards the gender equality and diversity, equity and inclusion. Andrea Eagle is there. She is our DEI head and driving a lot of programs in the region. So this is one of the, I would say, differentiating aspect of Tech Mahindra.
Thank you so much, Vinay. Begum, next question for you. So talking about growth, what key skills should women focus on? And then if you're speaking about a particular skill, could you share with the audience where they can learn or acquire these skills as well?
Well, despite what some other IT geeks might say, I don't think there is one single skill. In general, I always personally believed and tried that curiosity is the main thing that we should keep as a soft skill. Because in the end, the world is changing rapidly and exponentially. And it's mission impossible to catch it and try to learn what's going on. It's more about what you're interested in, how you can really stay curious and keep learning and keep doing. And learn by experimenting and failing. Because in the world that we are in right now, the cost of failure is peanuts. You can have a lot of controllable areas and control zones where you can try things. If you want to become a developer, there are gazillions of no-code tools. You can just download them for $10 a month. You can develop an app. Just do one. Make it not work. And fail. And then see how you can learn on learning. Because the technology will change. This is the reality. It will not stop. So if there is one thing that we should do, I believe it's staying curious and learning and keep growing and learning as well. If we think about hard skills, it's in the end, of course, digital data and AI. So ChatGPT, I'm sure everyone tried to plan some vacations or looked up some recipes or looked up some routes. I do a lot of vacation planning on ChatGPT, but try on how to probe it. And even this will give you some insights on how to use and not to use the technologies. So no single bullets, just stay curious and keep learning would be my only thing. And this is what helped me personally in my career as well.
Thank you. Verena, for you, talking about diversity in general today, how do you believe diversity drives business growth and innovation? And what actions do you believe should we be taking to increase women's participation in leadership roles?
That's two
questions.
big questions,
Yeah.
right? Let's start with the first. I truly believe that in the end, having different perspectives on the table is a very important element in order to come up with new solutions. So, of course, women play a role in that, but also international backgrounds, all kinds of different ages, all kinds of diversity. And I really believe that having those discussions in a diverse round makes solutions better in the end. Even if the process maybe takes a bit longer and may feel a bit more cumbersome at first. What actions do we need?
Yeah, to help women, to increase women's participation.
I mean, there are some basic enablers. And looking at Germany, we are still not there, right? Childcare, providing childcare to everyone is still a very central one. And there are still challenges around there. I think it has become easier over the last 10, 15 years, but still there are things to be done. Within a company, I think that we still do not trust women with important roles and tasks as much as we trust men. Sometimes women are being underestimated. Maybe that is because they sometimes tend to be not as loud and prominent as men. And one thing I would wish for is that we trust women and encourage them to take on large roles and large responsibility, even if it's a step upward. And of course, this is something that the women themselves need to push for, but also they need to be entrusted with those kind of roles.
So very related to Verena's answer. For the women who are just starting out in tech, Asja, this is for you. What practical advice would you give them to navigate challenges, like Verena was mentioning, to help them build the confidence to take those steps and establish themselves essentially in the industry?
Yeah, first of all, I loved what you said. So for me, it's also not so, like when you look 15 years back, it was always recommended when you had this leadership, executive leadership programs, to be like a man, to also have a company car and be a bit aggressive, right? And this is exactly what I'm not recommending. I never did that. I mean, I hate blue suits. I don't like myself in blue suits. Yeah, but that's No, for myself, you look very great.
You could try orange.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but there was even a paper in the consultancy, like if you look at McKinsey, BCG, to also wear a blue suit, and I never did that because I never felt confident in it, right? And I'm not a very aggressive person, and I don't like to speak up loud, right? But I love building bridges. I love to get an opinion of the other one and try to understand the person. And I think this is exactly what you have to do. You should be a woman. You should be aware of what are your skills, your soft skills, your hard skills, and then you should accelerate it and not try to do anything you're not comfortable with, right? And if you love tech, if you're interested in tech, I mean, what Begum said, right? Then code something, try it out. Why not? It doesn't matter if you're woman or man. You just have to feel comfortable in what you are doing and believe in yourself, right? I am a big believer, and I think that's the make or break point, right? You should believe you can do it, and then you can do it. And that is like, yeah, and if you love tech, do tech. I think there's the best time of women in tech, right? Because people start to realize that the skills we are bringing in are amazing. If you think about failure, right? I think women are a bit easier in accepting failure and say we have to go a different way. And men are still walking into the wrong direction, right? And saying, oh, we have to prove that it's working. And this is what is in diverse team amazing, right? That you have those skills and say, yeah, maybe can we pause? Can we make a lessons learned, and can we think if there's a better way? And that is exactly what is needed in tech.
I love that. Aysenur, so you're, well, all of you, but you're in a unique position to mentor the future generation, or the next generations just after even. How do you approach mentorship, and how do you think mentorship or sponsorship programs can accelerate participation?
I'm a strong believer on the programs, mentorships, and also the coaching. There is a slight difference in mentorship and coaching. Mentorship is about talking about your experience and helping the other, because we all live through similar paths, no? Although we look different in feelings, we are very similar. You can think about this. This is like what I think about when I'm running. The silent word about Cousteau. So if you look at diving, running, the feelings are quite similar. So I think as a woman in the industry, we also go through similar paths. So the programs help us to recognize and to get aware of that is not unique with me. It's also the others having, going through similar things. So I think in that aspect, we can help each other with our experiences and provide a different perspective. Because if you are in one state of, it may be a feeling or a situation, the others can help, who has experience. Other than that, so this is mentorship. But coaching is a bit different. I started my career because I decided at one moment that I needed to do something about my career. And I went, it was back in 2000 something, and I said I want a private coaching. And that time, private coaching didn't even exist. It was only the corporates getting coaching. The lady said, okay, you are the second one by coincidence coming. And okay, let me do you a rate. And we started an agreement of 12 sessions. And years after, I became a coach myself. So I did a certification and training and a certification on active coaching. And coaching is a bit different. Coaching is about a situation that you want to change, and you want to change about yourself, and you can get a professional help, and it's more about asking questions to yourself. So the power of the questions. So two of them differed. I think we need all them both, because what I realize is that, as women, so I'm also questioning, today is a woman day, so we are talking about women, but diversity in general is very important. But what I realized when I first became a director, my coach at that time told me that I was trying to show myself, with my achievements, so that I deserve to be a director. And they said, why do you need it? Do you really need to prove that you can be a director? They already signed you as a director. Accept and act. So for me, that was really, because I always get something because I work for it, because so self-awareness is a big tool. You need to self-aware, because at one point your best self can be your best saboteur as well. So if you are an achievement-oriented person, in the end you can sabotage yourself because of that. So I think this program's coaching can help to understand about your true self and learn and put some kind of targets for yourself. So this is the coaching programs, and mentorship is about sharing different also experiences and learning by experiences. That's also powerful. Sometimes gives you some hands, It's like supporting each other. Don't worry, it happens to me as well. Why do you? So this type of relationships, I think, important for all men and women. And as we are talking about women day to day, I think we also need to encourage it more, because we shouldn't forget that 100 years ago, some women couldn't go to a law university, some couldn't go to a math, some couldn't go. She experienced, I experienced. That, you cannot do this job because, so why? So we need to do this to remember that some people are giving some fights to be equal. And we need to appreciate that. So I think these programs help the community to go through this type of challenges. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So the last question of the discussion for Vinay. Tell us about one or more women who have inspired you, and how they've inspired
you. The most inspiring women or girl in my life is my daughter. And she's inspiring me every day for something or the other, pushing boundaries for herself. And this is also motivating. But there are 4 beautiful women in my life: my mother, my sister, my wife, and my daughter. I'm inspired by my mother for sure, because I come from India, and like what you were explaining, what Begum was explaining, few decades back, it was a different environment in India, and what I actually have seen my mother going through all the challenges of life, but with all the determination, with all the passion, and still actually keeping what others are needing at first, right? So for the family, sacrificing what or not thinking what you need first, because you have a responsibility. So that has also actually helped me shaping my own approach in some sense. The perseverance, what she taught me, the kind of resilience she has, and I would say one most important aspect: believe in yourself. In whatever it is, believe in yourself. There are a lot of circumstances and ups and downs will come in your life, but don't deviate from the path. So that also helped me in my own leadership, in my team working or problem solving, and a lot of things what I keep on learning with her. So most inspiring. But as I said, all these 4 women are inspiring me in some form or shape every day to me.
Thank you so much, Vinay.
A lot of women leaders who are around in the office, right? So like Tanya, Andrea, so many. all of you.
Finally. No pressure.
But next time, I love these feathers.
Next time, no blue suits.
No blue.
Alright, we're going to take things up a notch in terms of the speed. We're going into a rapid fire round. So we will be asking the panelists to answer very quickly to the questions that I'm going to pose to them. So we'll start again with Begum. If leadership were a movie, what would its title be for you? I can't promise the easy questions, but
Don't let go. Don't give up. Keep going. Has to be something around it.
that's great. Yeah. That's great. Okay, Verena, what is your go-to power song or mantra before big or difficult meeting or decision?
Unstoppable by Sido.
Asja, if you had a massive billboard, to inspire young women, what would it say?
Dream big, work hard, and stay curious.
Aysenur, if you could give career advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Life is a joyful journey. Enjoy it.
Nice. Vinay, what's an action that everyone can take to support women in the workplace?
Support women, empower, mentor them.
Okay. Begum.
Wrong
Me
again.
What is one workplace change that you want to see by 2030 in 5 years?
Equality, but it means real equality, not equal or better as well. In terms of respect, pay, voice, positions.
I think we can all agree with that. Verena, describe your leadership style in one word.
Let's do it.
That's 3 words, but we're giving you.
I said it quickly.
Yes. Asja, what's one skill that's been a game changer in your leadership journey?
Passion.
Aysenur, what do you go with? Leading with logic or leading with intuition?
Yes.
I shouldn't even have put the question, should I?
Intuition.
Intuition.
I think intuition is our unconscious intelligence. So if you ignore it, you're half intelligent, and logic is slower than
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Vinay, what's the best career advice that you've ever received?
Push the boundaries. Don't accept the limits.
Nice. Begum, back to you. What's one stereotype about women that you would love to break forever?
Women are always emotional.
Nice.
See, my team is smiling.
Okay, Verena, we're time traveling. So similar question, but we're time traveling. It's 2030. What is the biggest shift that you see for women in leadership?
I think I'm fully with Begum.
Mm.
So not only look at the number of women in management, but really about what's the role, how I mean, the best would be if nobody even notices anymore what's the mix of women and men and other diversity things.
Asja. Coffee or tea? What fuels your leadership?
Coffee. Very strong in the morning. Otherwise, no passion.
So coffee fuels the passion. Aysenur, one word that defines women in leadership today.
One word. I think belief. Belief. They bring a lot of belief. And but you said one word.
And that's fine. You can break the rules.
Yeah, but I think a woman is ownership. I would say ownership, hard ownership. I will trust any woman in my team that they have full ownership. That's a big differentiator for me, I see, ownership.
I would say resilience.
Resilience. That's, that's a better word to define it. Yes, I change it. Resilience.
And our last question for Vinay. If you could choose to have lunch with an inspiring woman, past or present, who would it be and why?
There is a recent incident, the recent event. So, the women, which is quite inspiring for me, and I like to have some, let's say, lunch, is Kalpana Chawla, the first Indian origin astronaut of NASA, coming from small town from India and achieving so many high achievements, her passion, resilience, and the perseverance of space technology and then exploration is amicable. And I would really like to spend some time with her and understand firsthand from her, what has her achievement been and how has she has actually crossed the boundaries.
All right. Thank you very much. So, as we come to an end today, please join me in a big round of applause. Thank you so much for this absolutely inspiring discussion. I think we've learned so much. I don't even need to look at my cards. I think some of the keywords that came up are solidarity, self-awareness, resilience, empathy, intuition. I think these are all things that I believe we can all take away that maybe even come to us as women intuitively. Aysenur. But I believe this discussion's truly highlighted and it's showcasing the need for accelerating gender equality in today's workspace. I hope that after this discussion, we can all kind of take forward the responsibility within ourselves, because that's something that we learn from this discussion. It's within ourselves to push ourselves and accelerate ourselves as well in our workspaces. So I hope we can all learn from this discussion, continue these discussions, and be sort of the vehicle for change in our coming future.